So this was posted last night, and Orlando Brown's getting a lot of flack on Twitter. And I'm kind of indifferent about it. So here's what happened. Dedication, as JPA Football says here. Bengals offensive tackle Orlando Brown Jr. missed the birth of his son so he could play in last week's game versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Bengals got destroyed 34-11, and Brown was on FaceTime with his wife in the locker room while she was giving birth. He said, "I'm thankful she understands and my family understands. For me, football is kind of everything right now. You really don't get this opportunity back. You don't get the opportunity to see a birth either." And that's kind of where I'm sitting when it comes to my perspective on things, because I do see it from both sides. From the football side, that Steelers game was one of the most important games of the year. If we win that game, we control our own destiny, and potentially we get to the playoffs and even go farther than that, before that Steelers game, right? That was the game that was going to decide everything. And if you don't have Orlando Brown in that game, from a football perspective, Cody Ford's going to get absolutely mollywopped by Cam Haywood or TJ Watt. They might even put TJ Watt on the left-hand side. It was going to be a bloodbath on the side of Cody Ford in there instead of Orlando Brown. Orlando Brown already didn't play a great game, and neither did Jonah Williams. But at the end of the day, it would have been even worse Cody Ford in there. With that being said, I understand the fans that who aren't Bengals fans, who are just football fans, who are like, "Oh, this is awful. This is awful. I can't believe you would miss the birth of your child to, go play a football game." But what we got to look at is the perspective of, this is his career. This is his job. This is what he's being paid to do. So, while yes, I know it's awful in the context of he missed his son's birth. Birth of his son. It is his career. And that's what he's being paid to do. And, we saw going back to, I think it was 2013, Richard Sherman, NFC Championship game versus the 49ers. He said how his son was giving, was it the championship or Super Bowl? One of the two. His Super Bowl championship. His wife was giving birth during the game. And he said during the game, "I'll play this game, but the second that she's giving birth, or she's about to give birth," he goes, "I'm out of here. I'm out of here and I'm heading to the hospital." And that was his choice. And in the end, he ended up, I think he didn't leave that game, but she didn't give birth during the game. She gave birth after the game. But he had that mentality throughout the whole entire game. He told the coach, he told everyone, "Hey, listen, when this happens, I'm going." And it looks like with Orlando Brown, once he got the message that she was giving birth, he FaceTimed her and he saw his son giving birth. Obviously, he wasn't live there in person, but he was on FaceTime. That's why I'm so split between the thing. I'm in no way looking at Orlando Brown like he's a bad person or a bad father. And there's been a lot of disrespect of him saying he's a bad father because of this. No, he did not put football over his family. What he did is he has responsibilities for his job, for his career, and he has to go out there and play football. And at the end of the day, 99% of the time, nothing really trumps football. This is the one thing that would trump football. But again, he has to go play. And it does suck. It really does. Football players all the time, they miss birthdays. They miss, children being born. They miss all this stuff. And it does suck. And, this is what even goes even more into respecting these players for all that they do sacrifice, right? To practice and go out there for 7 months of the year and give us their best of the best possible. And then, of course, they do have the whole off season. And, football season is only 4 months. But then they practice and train every single other month of the year, pretty much. And, they sacrifice all this going from age 20 to age 35, sometimes up to 40. I know they're getting paid millions of dollars, but they're still sacrificing a lot of time away from their family, friends, everything. And yeah, this is the kind of ugly side of football. But I don't think Orlando Brown's a bad father, a awful person because of this. Could he have said, you know what, I don't care, I'm going to go and head to this hospital, I'm not going to go to the game? Absolutely. And that was a decision he made. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, you know? He knows, I know he says right here, football is my everything right now. And I think what he means by that is he's trying to focus on his career and make the best career possible. Because, again, all the money he's making is for his wife and his kid. That's what it all comes down to, right? It's not just for him. It's for his future generations of kids, he's giving back to. So, I understand the outrage, right? And the first thing is, WTF, I would leave the game and go see my son's born. Team will understand. Awful father, holy crap. When he gets old, football won't be there, but his family will. What a terrible dad and husband. You see a cost of medical bills, insurance, and baby products. Can't miss a game check. And again, like I said before, he was not there in person. He was there on FaceTime, as he says in this thing right now. And yes, it's not the same as being there in person, and obviously being there with your wife and, literally having that presence of knowing you're there for her. It definitely is going to be different. But again, this is his career. And, this is why I'm so indifferent about it, because in no way am I saying he's a bad person, bad father, or anything like that. I'm 0% chance am I trashing him in any way for this. But I understand the outrage of the other perspective of, hey man, you put football above your wife and kid. But again, at the same time, it's like I'm on the perspective here, because you could also make the argument, well, he has generational wealth at this point, right? He's gonna get $75 million with the Bengals. He got crap ton with the Chiefs, crap ton with the Ravens. He has generational wealth, but yeah, I don't know, guys. You tell me down below your thoughts and opinions and what you're feeling. Because, I'm not in any way, upset with him for his decision or what he decided to do. I'm just kind of split between the whole idea of, what I would do personally, right? What would I do personally here? But then you got to think, you're letting your team down, but then your family, I would probably choose family over team any day, my moral ethics here is I would choose family over team any day. I choose family over money any day. But again, you have to keep in mind this is his career. And this is a very important game, but then oh man. I like the fact he was on FaceTime with her when she gave birth and he was there talking. I mean, they're obviously probably talking and being there and, some type of presence. It's not like she was giving birth by herself. He was there on FaceTime. But this is definitely one of those kind of more, this is one of those, would you rather type questions where it's you really start to look at ethics, values, what you believe, what you think it should be right, what isn't right, or what is wrong, or what is, this is all those perspectives that you kind of get when it comes to football and, outside of football, and you kind of take the real life, right? And you take real life, sometimes in football, I feel like a lot, right? We take everything, we put it in a circle, right? We put it in a ball. And you're like, oh, football. But at the end of the day, there's real life things that go into that too. These players are humans too. Sometimes we forget that they're humans and they have to make sacrifices for our entertainment / for our team to go out there and perform at a top level. So it's in a way, I respect Orlando Brown 1,000 times more because of the fact that he had to make this sacrifice for the better of the team and for the better of us fans and the Bengals. But again, like I said, it's that's the sacrifice that you got to really ask yourself, would you have made that same sacrifice? Would you? And there are some players, again, like I said before in the past, who have left games early, who haven't participated in certain games because of this. I mean, if you go back to the Super Bowl Rams versus Bengals, I think it was Van Jefferson. His wife gave birth during the game. And the whole time he even said, he was like, I'm just focused on my wife giving birth. I'm just focusing on my wife giving birth this game. And he had like a bad game, and he said that was a big reason why, was because he was so focused on that. But his wife gave birth during the game. He missed the birth of his son. Now, again, like I said before, then, that's his career. That's the biggest game of the year. But then you got to look at, what do you weigh more? Do you weigh more the birth of your child, or do you weigh more the thing? And I think it's really, I'll say it like this. I know I'm all over the place this video. I don't think it's right for anyone to trash Orlando Brown or come at Orlando Brown and say, you made the wrong decision, right? Because at the end of the day, it's his life. It's his choice to make. And while you might not agree with his choice, to demonize him, call him an awful father, call him a piece of crap of a person, like we see in the comments, and I'm not even going down farther because, trust me, there probably will be some racial comments in there, and I'm not getting into that. But I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong. I think that, you could disagree and say, I would do things differently in my perspective. I think that's fine. And I think it's perfectly acceptable to say, if I was in your spot, Orlando, I would have went and saw my child's birth. And that's fine. But, it's his life. It's his choice to make. And he chose, to go and watch football. I'm sorry, go play football and still be on FaceTime with her during the pregnancy. So he was still there in somewhat of presence. And that's kind of how I'm going to leave it off. Because, again, like I said, I could talk about this exact topic for hours. Because I'm very torn. Because this is on the area of morals, on ethics, on values, and then on career. And it's like there's this thin line, I feel like, when you're dancing on either side here of, is this right or is this wrong? Right? So tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. But I just want to talk about this today because you guys always give me your thoughts, and I always love it. I always love reading your thoughts and what you guys are thinking and feeling. But peace out.